Hello and welcome to ARCN Special Reports on Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria. My name is Joshua Ishaya. Propelled by the desire to encourage a public-private partnership, the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria, under the stewardship of Professor Hamidu Shaributu, has signed a memorandum of understanding Animals Growth and Resources International Solutions Limited. History event took place at the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria premises, Mabushi, Abuja. The memorandum of understanding, which is aimed at establishing an enterprising unit of integrated farm livestock and garden with hydroponic and cost reduction recycling model for Nigerians. Take a look at how it went.
Inside the confines of our offices, into doing some activities that will send a lot of information to the general public. We are about to sign a very important document to me personally and to the council, and of course to the nation at large. The major mandate of the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria is to advise government on things that have to do with agricultural research, training, as well as extension. By implication, the government is expected to rely on us for us to be able to give it all the necessary advice that will advance the cause of the agricultural sector, the crop, the livestock, and the fisheries. Now, we will just be deceiving ourselves if we sit down within the confines and comfort of our offices and think that we are generating enough information that will help us advise the government. Government will expect us to go deep down to the grassroots to make sure that we receive information that is coming from the public, direct stakeholders that are actually affected by whatever policy the government is going to pass. Any policy that is formulated on false information, especially data, we're just joking with the future of this country. There are enormous resources that is available in this country that will make everybody sit comfortably without rancor. When you hear people talking about religiosity, you hear people talking about ethnicity, you hear people talking about this is our land, it's all as a result of our inability to exploit the national resources that are actually endowed with. I have always been an advocate of the livestock sector. You know very well that I have made presentations even at the highest level of security, telling people to shift their minds away from all the social media and journalistic jargons that is going all over the place. And that is because people who do not know very well, or people who have no basic information, have found their ways close to the government to begin to advise them. The insecurity today started with the neglect of the livestock sector. The insecurity today starts with the fact that the agricultural sector has never been prioritized. Take, for example, so many polytechnics come up at private level. So many colleges of education are coming up at private level. So many universities are coming up at private level. Colleges of health sciences are coming up. Nobody for now in this country has made any attempt at the private level to fully establish and take off any college of agriculture. That is a lesson for us. And that is why we deliberately, during the amendment of our law, we deliberately insisted that government must give our research institutes the ability to take off with spin-off companies. And these spin-off companies deliberately also decided that it must be in conjunction with the private sector. And here we are today having a very, very good understanding with the private sector. Let me say this, that we have tried one in Niger State. Up to now, we have not been able to get it fully established. We have tried one in Osun State, up to now, we have not been able to get it fully established. Everything agriculture, we want to heap it on the shoulders of the government. Today, anybody that is realistic to himself, unless if he is uninformed, like the typical northerner will tell you jahili, will want to believe that this country has enormous money to take care of the food security of this country. I want to pronounce here that as far back as 2012, Nigeria has been borrowing to make sure that these salaries we are receiving is being paid. And I'm telling you, until we are able to do something and improve our productivity, honestly, we may not be able to sustain this country for the next 5 years. We'll just be deceiving ourselves. We may be around that time, we may not be around. But the best way to go is for us to continue to partner with private sector because of the determination of the private sector that far outweighs that of the public sector. You all believe me that those of us who have the opportunity of having government houses when we started job, those who had government furniture, today are the ones that don't even know what to do with their lives. Today they are the ones that their children keep on running from one place to the other because they cannot make it. Those of us that have come up wiser and are trying to invest in one form of business or the other are the ones that are finding comfort because therein lies the riches, therein lies the wisdom, therein lies the experience. Sitting in the office alone may not give us this opportunity. And when those of us who are here have the advantage of having people who are determined to come and partner with us, I think it is something we must open our arms and advise them adequately while we continue to receive advice from them. I say it with pride. My Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, I've always had it on the farm. In fact, I just came back yesterday after 3 days of lying there in the farm. When people say you are the ears, mosquito will bite you and all the rest. I say, no, it's not about mosquito biting me. It's about the fact that I should be able to produce what I can sell at my own time. And as it is now, last year, I produced over 700 bags of rice. This year, I'm telling you, I'm targeting over 1,000 bags because I've expanded the farm 2 times. The livestock sector, unknown to many people, is more efficient than ATM card. The livestock is more efficient than ATM card. And I have all causes to prove it. Anytime you want to sell your bird or your chicken or your cow, the market is always available. Even in the middle of the night, you wake up somebody, he will be ready with that money. In fact, this thing works to me like magic. Anytime I want to sell my livestock, I am in trouble here, I will just order them at home, say, sell 2 bulls for me. And they'll bring it. I've never left my bull at more than 20. Just recently, I raised them to 50. Just because I should be able to manage them with the sizes and the feed I am capable of giving them. I want to advise our people. That's the best way to go. In fact, if you want to start farming, if you advise me, I say start with livestock. Because you can get your money instantly. Very, very efficient. And now another wisdom has come to me because I am not even looking at the profit from the point of view of selling either the meat or anything. I'm looking at my profit from the point of view of the cow dung, the wastage, the poultry litter. This year I bought poultry litter with the quantity of about 900 bags of poultry litter. And that's why I went and spread all over my farm now, where I'm going to farm my yam. Very efficient. No carryover of seed, no transmission of any pasture or grass seed for us. So there are a lot of things that we're going to get from this livestock if we really, really go to depend on it. People keep on talking about ranching. Oh, no ranching. People do not know what a ranch is. And so everybody opens his mouth. He has a handset. He will just go and Google and say ranch in Lagos and just type the best way to go is ranch. The best way to go is ranch. If anybody takes a trip to Sebore farm and look at what a semblance, it's not even what the ranch that we're talking about. That one is intensive system of livestock farming. We're not talking about a ranch. A ranch is as good as this extensive system that we're talking about. You're talking about a ranch that will cover half of Abuja. So when you say Nigeria should go into a ranch, and you have half of Abuja 10 times in this country, what are you going to have? The whole country will be taken over. So when people talk about ranch and ranch, the best thing is ranch. The best thing is ranch. You can have backyard and grow them under semi-intensive. That I can understand. But by the time people begin to use terminologies that are influenced by one form of sentiment, either tribal sentiment or religious sentiment or any form of sentiment, they get the whole government confused. And our journalists are the #1 propagators of that type of thing. They want to build a ranch. Do you know what a ranch is? Colony. Do you know what colonial means? Colonial means, and people are not looking at things that they are supposed to be. Let me say this. If you see the typical Fulani man having livestock, it's not his own. He is holding that livestock in trust for the country. I think this is one thing people must know. It is not their own. They are holding it in trust for this country. They manage the farm because the country needs that livestock. Ordinarily, they will say, okay, let me go into petrol and be selling petrol and leave the livestock. They will still make money if you think it's for personal reasons. Now, what do you mean by in trust? What we mean by in trust here is this. If you don't have the livestock here, you still going to have to go to Niger. And when you go to Niger, you are going to be subjected to the rules, policy, and regulations of Niger before you are able to bring it here. So anything that is governed by rules and regulations does not belong to you. It belongs to the government. It belongs to the people. So those animals you are seeing, they are only holding it for us in trust, because if we don't have it, if they don't hold it, you have to go elsewhere and really bring it into the country. You have to go elsewhere. Similarly, the farmer you are seeing is also farming in trust. Country. Because if they don't do that, it will be a problem. Tomorrow now, when they tell you that Sudan is in crisis, the first thing that a typical Muslim will be thinking about that, a layer is coming close. Where am I going to have this cattle? If Niger is going to be in crisis, the prices of gram will be very expensive. Just like when Ukraine is into war, we have already started complaining about wheat. Wheat here, wheat there, wheat here, wheat there. So it is because we have the potentials here. That's the more reason why we should be able to concentrate. And I have stayed on government farms. I have managed the Zugu Goat Multiplication Center. I know what it is in Zugu. I spent 3 years on that farm, and I know what it is. I was at Tuna Farms in Katsina. I was at Funafuna in Kontagora. All these are livestock farms that are owned by the government. We pay salaries. If you calculate our salary and then in Zugu Goat Multiplication Center, pool our salaries together and the expenditure on that livestock and put it by the side and sell all the goats in that place, they will not be able to pay the salary for 3 months. They will not. The goats there cannot pay our salary, those of us who are working on that farm, for 3 months. And yet we'll say we are making progress. But as the typical private sector, he feeds there. He makes donation out of it. The workers feed there. They marry their wives from there. They marry their husbands from there. They feed their children from there. They do everything. So if this one is failing and this one is making it, I see no reason why these two cannot come together and try to see how they can advance the cause. One deficiency must be made up by the other. Now that you have come, sir, we're really very, very grateful. It will help ARCN to generate more reliable data. That is our area of interest. We should be able to generate reliable data that will form the basis of our advice to the government to say, look, this is what we have done. And anytime you stand to present your paper anywhere, you are always ready for challenge, because you will be quick to point out to go to so-so farm, go to so-so organization. This is what we did, this is what we did not do. What happens there is that if I sit down here and I'm looking for data, I will open FAO. FAO may not have come to Nigeria. They may rely on just our people that are sitting in the office, and then at the end of it, what is there? Nothing. That is why ARCN is moving towards a restructuring. Very soon, in the next 1 or 2 months, we are bringing up a proposal to even change our pattern, our organization, our departmental structure in such a way that we'll be able to have direct access to that. That's the more reason why ARCN is bringing innovation, that those of you from the private sector will have easy access to our office, at least through our communication office. You should be able to meet our radio, free of charge for now, to voice out what you think you want to do for this country. I hope that you will pass the information Director of Admin, Planning Research and Technology. Let them go in there, let them pass information to the public as to the value they are adding to the livestock sector, to the agricultural development sector of this country.
We can now collaborate in areas of interest to move our country forward. It is that zeal, that patriotism that pushed us towards these ideas and partnership we are seeking with the ARCN. Like I also said earlier, we are coming from the private perspective, looking at it from the economic point of view, looking at agriculture generally, from the entrepreneurship point of view, from the value addition point of view, and from the wealth creation point of view. I think these are the components that the Executive Secretary equally highlighted in his brief remarks. Most farmers don't look at farming from this perspective. And even some government policies are not inclined towards the value addition we are talking about, the wealth creation measures we are talking about, and looking at it as a solution to our problems, myriad of problems, especially the insecurity problem we are having in the country. Agriculture forms a solid base for solving all those problems if well structured and well implemented policies are there, with the collaboration of institutions like the ARCN and the private sector. So that is the reason why we are here. That is the reason why we want a solid partnership with ARCN and other sister agencies to come together under a rallying point provided by the vision of the Executive Secretary of ARCN to move the agricultural sector from the level it has been for quite some decades to the higher level we anticipate in the near future. I believe this partnership can create that platform. We from the Agri Solutions Nigeria Limited have a pool of experts in business sector, in the accounting sector, in the entrepreneurship sector, and we equally have partnership with youth organizations, farmers associations, cooperative societies, which can be part of this initiative we are talking about. So whatever agreements we come up with, whatever contents of the MOU we are able to sign at the end of the day, during the course of implementation, all these experts that are part and parcel of our own strategy of implementation, I believe can be part of it at the end of the day, God willing. So in brief, this is why we are here. We are happy with the entire management team of ARCN for giving us this opportunity and easing the process of coming up with this MOU. Unlike so many organizations that have been giving us a lot of trouble and headache for like months or even years without being able to come up with such an MOU. The speed is actually amazing, even though there are some, challenges here and there. But we really thank the management team and the partnership committee for their wonderful commitment to this endeavor. And we hope going forward we will see more of such efforts in making sure that we take this MOU to its logical conclusion. Thank you so much, ES, for your leadership and your innovative ideas in driving the ARCN forward. Thank you to the management team and the partnership committee for your efforts. And I also thank my team for their motivation, because at times I'll say, can we go through this? Yeah, definitely we will. So let's keep pushing. And we thank God we are here. And equally going forward, there are so many organizations that are showing interest of joining the team. And we equally have the opportunity of meeting so many policymakers that are also interested in coming on board. So as time goes on, with the permission of the ES, we can invite them to come. We sit down, we see how we can now form a nucleus of moving the entire process forward. Thank you so much once again.
Welcome back. On that note, we come to the end of the special reports by the Agricultural Research Council of Nigerian Television on the signing of Memorandum of Understanding between Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria and Animal Growth and Resources International Limited. My name is Joshua Ishaya. Bye for now.